Hello, welcome or welcome back to the Yarn and Yarns YouTube channel. My name is Angela and all the places you can find me should be linked in the description box below this video. Here on the channel you'll find me chatting about my adventures in knitting, spinning, crochet, weaving, all of the fibre related things. In today's video I am going to be trying to set some priorities and come up with some making plans for November. We are in the final push towards the end of the year and I can't quite believe how quickly time has whizzed by. If you are new to the channel at all, then I will just quickly explain. These types of videos I post every month. I'm someone who enjoys having a lot of works in progress on the needles, and in order to try and focus myself down so I'm not just flitting from one project to another and not really making too much progress, or spending time wondering which of the wonderful things that I've got on my needles, hooks, looms, spinning wheels that I want to work on, I do try to set myself a few priorities for the month. And so I come on and I record a video, I chat about what I am going to be choosing, and I've come up with a little bit of a fun sort of game of chance. I have a multi-sided dice and several prompt cards, and I will roll the dice 4 times. We'll pick 4 projects together and try and set some priorities for the month. So that's what we'll be doing in this video. In 2023, this year, I've also added another layer to the making by asking for volunteers from the Yarn and Yarns YouTube community to go into a little pot, or in this case I've got a spinning wheel app on my phone, and I randomly pick someone each month to also pick a project for me, and this person literally has carte blanche to decide what I work on. It can be something from my works in progress, it can be a brand new cast on, and if they decide to take to pick a brand new cast on, I'm happy to buy yarn and pattern if I need to. It's just a fun way to get the community involved, and yeah, it's been working really well so far, and that was a lovely suggestion from one of our community members, Beverly. I'm going to spin the wheel and come up with a name. If you'd like to be added to the wheel, please do let me know. I'm planning on continuing this at least through next year. I think I've still got plenty of names on the wheel, but if you'd like to be added, then let me know. If you're already on the wheel and for any reason you want to come off, then again, also let me know. So let's start by getting this wheel spun. Okay, so I'm going to be reaching out to my lovely friend Sally, who used to live very local to me here in Penarth but has now moved slightly further away, and I will be asking Sal to pick a project for me this month. So I shall be off to do that now, and then I'll come back and let you know what Sal has picked for me to work on in November. Hey friends, a couple of days have passed for me and the lovely Sal has got back to me to let me know what project she would like me to work on in November. Sal did have a look through my works in progress and she also picked a couple of options for new cast-ons, and in the end we decided to go for a new cast-on, and it's the Gallus scarf, which is a pattern by Amy Palco. I'm sure many of you watch Amy's podcast here on YouTube. It's a lovely squishy wrap knit from either fingering weight held double or double knitting yarn, and here's a picture from Amy's pattern page. I'm going to be looking forward to rummaging through my stash and coming up with some yarns for that to cast on in November. With the community pattern pick done, it's time to roll the dice and see what they have in store for my other projects for November. Okay, so I think we have got some good picks here. The dice have been pretty kind this month, I think, and if you watched my end of year goals, my end of year making plans, the video where I shared all of my works in progress, I do want to try and stick as far as possible to the 10 projects that I picked out that I'd like to try and focus on, with an aim to getting them finished and off the needles by the end of the year. And I'm fairly sure with these dice rolls I shall be able to pick a bunch of projects from that list. I'm going to start with newest, Cast On. We've had this one quite a few times. I think we've had all of these quite a few times now throughout the year. I might need to change my dice up next year because I feel like similar numbers come up fairly frequently and some of the numbers don't come up at all, but I'm sure that's nothing to do with the dice. It's just the game of chance, isn't it? So the first is number 3, and as always I'd like to just say a big thank you to the lovely Simone who made these beautiful cards for me, and I'll link her channel below. So this is the newest prompt, so my newest cast on. Now technically my newest cast on is a pair of vanilla socks that I'm working on from some West Yorkshire Spinners yarn. However, that project is one that I've just cast on as some portable out and about knitting. I tend to keep it in the car now, and I knit a few rows on it when I'm sort of early for work, or if I'm out and about and need a bit of portable knitting. So I don't want to sort of prioritise that because I don't necessarily want to rush through that pair of socks. It's a just because kind of project, and if I rush through that pair of socks I'll only need to cast on another pair to sort of fulfil that need for something simple to do when I'm out and about. So if I remove that from the equation, then my newest project is the Vina Hop sweater. I haven't actually got that here to share with you because it's downstairs. It's one of the projects that I've been working on in October. Getting myself confused with what month is what. I do have a project picture somewhere I think that I can share with you. Let me share with you the screenshot from the August and September making wrap up because I used my Vina Hop for that. So it's a stripy sweater that I'm knitting from a combination of hand spun yarn, and I'm pairing that with some yarn from the lovely Cartrev yarns. So that's a quick shot of the Vina Hop, and I shall be hoping, I think that's probably going to be my main focus, and I'm going to be hoping to try and finish that by the end of November. I picked out 3 sweater projects to try and finish by the end of the year, so it'd be nice to get that one off the needles by the end of the month if I can. The next prompt is my favourite, and one that's come up multiple times which I couldn't be happier with. It's number 6, and it's the mood prompt. So I get to pick anything that I want to work on throughout the month, whatever takes my fancy. So I'm obviously not going to pick a project for that one just yet. Likely it will be something off of that list of 10 projects that I picked a couple of weeks ago. Then it's number 14, and that is the almost finished prompt. And I think for that I've got quite a few projects that are verging on being almost finished, but realistically the quickest one for me to finish will be the hand spun gnome that I've got, and it's been on the go for quite some months. And let me try and have a rummage around and see if I can find the beginnings of that project. Oh, here it is. I don't even need to rummage, I can see it, spot it. So not this past July, but last July I cast on with some hand spun yarn during the Tour de Fleece, a little project from some Hill Radnor yarn that I'd spun up. I knit this cable hat, which is from one of Sarah Shearer Imagined Landscapes gnome patterns, and it was always my intention to pick up the stitches and carry on and knit the body and finish this gnome, and it's just been hanging around forever and a day. This was on my list of projects to finish before the end of 2023, and it really shouldn't take too long at all, even with the intricate cabling of this pattern. So yeah, this is going to be the project that I pick for almost finished, and it will be done. This has been too long hanging around in the graph room waiting to be finished. So we're rattling through these at quite a pace, so I think this is going to be quite a short video, which might be quite nice after my longer making wrap-up video, which was the last one that I popped up on YouTube. And the final pick is number 15, and that is a another YouTube pick. We had one of these last month, so I'm going to pick a couple of projects from my project pile, and I shall ask you to comment below which one of these 2 projects you think I should work on during the month of November. So I'm just going to pop my recording on pause so I can have a little look through my works in progress list, and I shall rummage around behind me and find the relevant project bags, and we shall get a couple of projects out for you to pick between. Okay, I've had a little rummage round in the pile of project bags behind me, and I've picked out 2 projects, and I'm going to be asking you which of these I should work on during November, and I shall be asking you to comment with your answers below. And the first project is one of 2 sock projects that I've got on my list of things that I'd like to try and finish before the end of the year, and this one is my self-designed pair of socks that are inspired by giraffes. I came up with a chart that sort of mimics a giraffe print. And if you watch my works in progress video, you might remember that these started out life as a request from my sister, who has a fondness for giraffes, and so I charted up a design. I knit a sock for her, sent it off to her, and then asked her to return it to me so I could finish it if the fit was okay. We don't live close to each other. It's hard for us to get together, so I don't see my sister very often. But she tried the sock on, said it fit okay, but never ended up returning it to me. So I decided at some point, that I think it might have been last year, that I should finish up these socks and make them for myself. But I think what happened was when I tried on the second sock that I started knitting for her, it was a slightly too tight fit for me around the foot, and so I decided to start a third sock, slightly bigger stitch count, and yeah, so I've ended up knitting multiple half socks or partial socks. So yeah, should I figure things out with this sock and finish them up for me? Well, in my video actually I decided it was time to either finish or frog these, so yeah, should I figure out whether to finish or frog these, I think is probably the better question, and that's all going to come down to me trying the socks on and have I got a good fit, and yeah. So that's the first project, and the second project is the Lunar Mitts. So these were one of my cast-ons from this last year. If you're new to the channel, I do a little cast-on party at the end of each year going into the beginning of the following year, where I cast on 12 new projects to hopefully set myself up for my years of making. And this year I decided to pick a random book from my pattern books and pick a project from that book, and that led me to casting on the Lunar Mitts from the 2018 issue of the Shetland Wool Week annual, and this is how far I have got with the first mitt. I'm making these from some hand spun yarn. I've got a good way through the first mitt pattern. This is knit from a lace weight yarn, so the stitches are very fine, the yarn's very fine, but the rows are fairly short, so I think if I get stuck into this, then this should be a relatively quick finish. So should I work on my Lunar Mitts from my hand spun yarn or my self-designed giraffe socks? Let me know what your vote would be for in the comments below this video, and I shall leave that going for a couple of weeks for people to sort of be able to catch up and have time to watch the video. And when I'm ready to work on those partway through November, I shall tally up all of the votes and pick one of those to concentrate on for the second half of November. So yeah, I think that is everything. I think I've got a good mix of projects. I have a sweater, a gnome, something undecided yet, depending on what I'm in the mood for, and a sock or a mitt depending on what you choose for me, and of course I've got the wrap to cast on and start as well, so that will be a nice mix of projects to see me through November, I think. I know that some of you out there play along with the dice game with me, so if you are playing along, please do let me know what projects you are picking for each of those prompts. The only one that some folks might have to change up a little bit, I think, would be the YouTube pick, because I know not everyone has a channel, so you could swap that out for either a random pick or just get someone else in your life to choose one of your works in progress for you to work on. So yeah, let me know whether you have set some priorities for November and what they are. I'd love to know what will be keeping you company in your crafting hours in the coming weeks. I will be back here again soon with some more making content, of course, so I hope you will join me for the next video. But until we do get to spend time together again, I hope you get to do some other things that you enjoy. Great big woolly hugs to you all. Bye for now. Bye.